Sweet the whispers in your ear whenever ember wanders near.
All right, let's lose our minds a little bit more and let us see what the actual fuck is happening with Shoe on Head and the Lindsay Clancy case. This could get painful. I have a feeling I may know what's going to pop up here, but let's jump into it.
Hey, what's up, guys? Rip here. So I'll be honest with you guys, this is one of those videos where the subject matter featured in it is going to be a very grim one. Every time you think you've been completely black-pilled by social media users and their insane behavior, trust me, it's going to get only worse. Now, why is Shoe on Head featured here? Well, she's been very vocal about this situation, and she's been taking the brunt of the crazies on social media, and also being accused of concocting this entire situation and the insane response on social media. Now, what is this situation? Well, right now there is a very high-profile case going on involving an individual named Lindsay Clancy. Now, she is accused of offing her 3 children.
Slight correction there. She's not simply accused of, she admitted to it. She admitted to it. Her attorney admitted to it. Everybody has admitted that she has murdered her fucking children. And not only just simply murdered her children via strangulation. This is not like the mom did like the drowning thing you hear about some women that, you know, that freak out and like they God help me, drown their children or poison their, you know, the mothers that will like poison their children or something. No, she strangled her 3 children with exercise bands. And they're desperately and the defense is desperately trying to do an insanity defense. Desperately. We watched the trial. Excuse me. We watched some of the trial footage, and it reads to me like this was premeditated, and that she was using mental health as she was setting up a defense for mental health by going to a shit ton of going to like therapists and getting like 12 different fucking SSRIs, which by the way, we don't know for sure that she took any of them. Just say I don't believe there's any evidence to substantiate that she ever actually, I don't think they ever did blood work to substantiate that she actually was on SSRIs, at least none that I'm aware of. And I fully believe that she was basically using the 2 months prior to murdering her children, going to a therapist, checking in to a mental health place for 5 days, which by the way, the mental health place that she checked into for 5 days, that claims that, oh, this is postpartum, people that love to claim, oh, this is postpartum depression. Yeah, she actually checked in to a mental health clinic in Massachusetts, which has some of the best psychiatric hospitals in the fucking country. And this psychiatric hospital specifically set up for women with postpartum depression, looked at her and said, you don't fit the criteria for us to treat you for postpartum depression, and said, fuckity bye. This feels premeditated. This feels like a literal psychopath wanting to get rid of the children and to exercise personal control. Yeah. That's what this feels like. So just for that little bit of clarification of what Rev said. It's not she's accused of, she has admitted to. This, I'm not a journalist. So I'm not gonna, I don't have to do the journalism thing of, well, she is accused of, there's no conviction. I'm not a journalist. I can say whatever the fuck I want. She has already admitted to it. She is flat out admitted to killing her children. They're now just trying to reach for an insanity. There's no fucking allegedly. That's what I'm saying. There is 0 fucking allegedly here. None. She did it. She admitted to doing it. The only difference now is that they're trying to get her off on an insanity defense. She flat out fucking admitted. So I refuse to tap dance around this bullshit of, well, she's accused of or allegedly she did. No, she fucking admitted it on the record. She fucking did it. She's guilty. She's guilty and she should fucking. I need to stop or I will start glowing. Let's continue.
Strangulating them. 5 minutes apiece. Now, her defense is that she was not legally culpable for her actions because she was in a state of psychosis given her postpartum depression. Now, postpartum depression is a very real thing, and it makes sense,
yes, it
right?
is.
When a woman gives birth, their hormones are completely out of whack, and it might have a very serious impact on their mental health. But what happened here is truly evil. And what's
Yes.
also evil is the reaction on social media, including from thousands of mothers.
And again, not postpartum depression. She went to a clinic very specifically specializing in postpartum depression. They said, you do not fit our need. Your mental health does not fit our treatment plans. Fuck me, bye, get out of here. That was a postpartum specialty fucking clinic. And they said, you don't meet the criteria for postpartum depression. Get the fuck out. Fuck that postpartum depression excuse. She didn't have that. She's a fucking psychopath.
Who are empathizing with the rage she expressed towards her children. In fact, right now, there is a trend on TikTok, #SameLindsay, where people, including mothers, are holding their own newborns, expressing support for what she did. In fact,
think about that. These women, these fucking virtue signaling sociopaths, and showing support for Lindsay, a woman who murdered her own children. These women are posting fucking TikToks, by the way, most of which are fake. By the way, I'm going to point out, and yes, Johnny, I thank you, I'm going to get to that. Most of these women are sitting there holding their babies, fake crying. Fake, mind you. I'm willing to say that most, if not all of these TikTok videos these women are posting about, oh, we're with you, Lindsay. Oh, we're so with you. It's all performative. They are jumping on a fucking bandwagon. This is a hot case. Kirsty said it. Kirsty said it best on Side Scores today. This is the Carmelo Anthony bullshit all over again. When the Carmelo Anthony case came to its conclusion and you had a fuck ton of black supremacist wannabes jumping on TikTok saying that they need that more black people need to kill white folk, it's the same fucking performative bullshit. It's a bunch of virtue signaling wine moms that don't have a life. And they're like, I want to feel special, so I'm going to post a TikTok of me holding my baby and crying and go, I feel just like Lindsay does, for real. When they're doing this for a woman who murdered her 3 children in a way that is slow, painful, and torturous. As a reminder, she facilitated this via strangulation. That is not a fast way to end someone's life. That takes time and that takes effort. And these women are pretending to sympathize with her. This is fucking sick. This is virtue signaling. This is the virtue signaling of fucking nightmares. If I was God forbid, God help any of the husbands, if they actually have any, of these women with their children. If I was in the position of the husbands and I had my wife posting a TikTok on, oh, same Lindsay, I feel the same, I would immediately be filing for divorce and petitioning a judge to award me full custody to get that child away from that fucking sociopath. Because God knows if she's sympathizing for Lindsay, does that mean she's about to kill her own child too? Does anybody think about this? And by the way, yes, as someone pointed out in chat, if this had been a man By the way, if it had been the husband slash father who did this to the children, what do you think the response would be? The public would be screaming him to be burned alive at the fucking stake tomorrow. But because it's a woman, oh, I feel for you, Cynthia. I feel for you, Lindsay. I'm like you, for real, for reals. It's fucking disgusting. And then we're going to get to all these women standing outside the fucking courthouse doing hearts with their hands. Again, it's the fucking Carmelo Anthony bullshit all over again.
At the trial, thousands of women are showing up and showing their support.
Not just women. You can see here, this is a child. These psychopaths brought a child. This girl is probably 13 or 14 years old. They're bringing a 13 or 14-year-old to this to express support for a child murderer. This is sick. This is fucking sick.
Support and love.
And yes, I'm sorry, I'm pausing a lot. I am aware of what they're saying behind. We covered that in when me and Celestium and Maria and their hubbies joined us on stream. Their hubbies joined us on stream, and we covered the trial. Yes, I'm very aware. We covered that these fucking idiot women are saying, oh, the husband did it because he's a Gemini, and they fucking pulled astrology into it, and they're using quote unquote forensic astrology. If you quote forensic astrology, if you have any children, they should be immediately be removed from your presence, and you should be sentenced to go picking turnips in a field for the rest of your life because you do not belong in polite society. Yes, they're blaming fucking astrology and saying that the husband is guilty because of astrology. Any woman that goes on TikTok and says that the husband is guilty by means of astrology, that husband needs to secure the services of an attorney, subpoena TikTok, get the account names, informations, and sue the ever-living fuck out of every single woman, every single psychopath that goes on TikTok and says, oh, the husband's guilty because astrology reasons. Sue the fuck out of him for slander. Every single one of them. You can't let them just say the shit. You have to go at them hard, and you have to go fucking scorched fucking earth on these stupid cunts. You take them for fucking everything. You want these stupid bitches want to go on TikTok and say the husband actually did it, set his wife up because astrology signs, and basically painting a target on this man's back because you know there are enough stupid ass dumb bitches out there that will watch these TikToks, believe it, and then start going and harassing this poor man who has just lost his entire goddamn family. He needs to go scorched fucking earth and ruin every single one of these bitches on TikTok that are saying he's actually the murderer. He needs to take them down in every conceivable way possible.
Of women are showing up and showing their support and love for Lindsay. In fact, today there is a planned stand in peace protest against what's happening here. And it gets even worse.
And
there's a GoFundMe.
Holy fuck, it's up even higher. It's at 9. When we checked yesterday, it was at 917. It's now up to almost 970. Holy shit.
That's about to cross $1 million. Oh, you thought that was bad? Well, right now it's very popular on social media, including TikTok, to prop up cameras and do performative crime pieces like
Payday from the Fall. If you're talking about suing, yes. Yeah. By the way, that GoFundMe, just so you're aware, that GoFundMe, not for the dad, not for the husband. That's not who that GoFundMe is for. You know who that GoFundMe that's approaching $1 million and has a $2 million goal? You know who that's for? It's for the parents of the murderer. That money is going to the parents of the murdering psychopath that killed her own children in cold blood. That's who that GoFundMe is for. Yeah. Not the husband who lost his 3 fucking children. No. The mom and dad of the murdering psychopathic bitch. That's who that money's being raised for. You know how much money is being raised for the father who has to bury his 3 children? Zero. Not a fucking thing that I'm aware of is being raised for the father who has to bury his 3 children. This is despicable. This is the evil of feminism. This entire story right here is showcasing the abject evil that is feminism. And it shows that feminism needs to be destroyed. Flat out. Feminism needs to be eviscerated. It needs to be burned off the face of the earth. Because this is what it brings. This is what it brings. It brings a murdering psychopath and scores of women standing behind her saying, "We support you for murdering your children." That's modern feminism, and it needs to be burned off the face of the earth.
This, where they say they're never going to be okay and they empathize with what Lindsay did. In fact, it gets even worse. Now, thousands of mothers are posting deranged, psychotic episodes of them violently expressing their hatred of their own children in support of Lindsey Graham.
Yeah.
Like, you literally...
Yeah, Lindsay Clancy, Rev, posted that correction. It was wrong. Yeah. This is the newest trend on TikTok, is taking a bowl full of ice, throwing it at your tub or your shower, and screaming because you can't stand your children. This is what these morons think is healthy. Not like figuring out why you're acting like a psychopath. Not maybe figuring out why am I having a problem with my own children. No, it's let's just throw ice and scream into the tub or the shower. And by the way, this is all fake. It's all fake, by the way. None of this is real. Every single one of these women doing this on TikTok, completely performative. Complete falsehoods. It's virtue signaling. It's, guess what? The 3 C's. This is all triple C behavior. Clicks, clout, and for some of them, cash. That's all it is. Absolutely none of this is fucking real.
Cannot make this up, ladies and gentlemen. And you can see on Twitter, people are saying she's not responsible for anything that happened in a response to a tweet by Bryson Gray here. And then you see people on TikTok as well saying that the patriarchy is responsible for what happened here. Oh, but it gets worse.
And by the way, this is on her GoFundMe page. These are messages left on her GoFundMe page, by the way.
Oh, but it gets worse. Now there's people on TikTok saying that the husband should have been the target of this violence. And some married women are saying, yes, this should happen to the husbands. Divorce immediately.
No, not divorce. Lawsuit. Lawsuit. Take them for everything. Do not go at them full bore and take them for everything. It's time that these people started facing consequences for their actions. So take them to court and take them for everything.
By the way, but here's even another layer of the craziness here. People, these TikTok true crime junkies, are now making up fan fictions that it was
These women make me ashamed of being a mother. I have nothing but unconditional love for little Wolf. I could never fathom raising my hand against him.
And that is what every normal woman would say. But these women are not normal. They're sociopaths. They're audience captured. They are addicted to social media. And that's why I say they are triple C's. They're doing this for clicks, clout, and cash. They're looking for that dopamine hit on TikTok where they go, "Oh, you're so right. Oh, you slay queen. Oh, you're so strong. Oh, we're here for you. Lots of love from across the internet." That's what they're doing. And that's why it's all fake. And honestly, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with these women that are making the claims that the husband killed the kids and set up the wife. It's the same thing. They're doing it for clout. They're doing it for clicks. They're doing it for cash. They're doing it for the dopamine hit. And they should be immediately taken for everything that they own in court. I hope to God the husband does. Because here's the thing. Until people start actually like taking legal action against people like this that make these grotesque inflammatory claims that have absolutely zero basis in reality, until you start going after them and hitting them for everything that they have, they'll keep doing it. They will keep doing it. And they will not stop, and they will only get worse. Because it's this, they are effectively criminals. And so what's the criminal mindset? Well, if I got away with it, I can do it again. Or I can even try and push it even further. Oh, I got away with that? Well, I can push it even further. You start hitting them where it hurts. When they do this, they'll stop. But they'll do that when you take everything from them. You don't go like, oh, stop it. I want like $1,000 from you. Like, oh, this is inflammatory. I want $1,000 from you. No, you take them for fucking everything. You go scorched earth. You cannot like do a build up anymore with people like this. You have to go nuclear right off the jump. Because they don't understand anything else. These people do not understand anything except extremes. The people that follow them or the people that are thinking about doing something similar also do not understand anything except extremes. So if you make a bunch of examples out of them and you completely nuke their lives financially and take them for everything and make it public as fuck, then other people that are thinking about doing it, they go, oh, I could lose everything if I do this. Maybe this isn't such a good idea. That's what it's going to take. Nothing less. Literally nothing less will stop this.
Husband who did this, and then he framed his wife, which is insane. Give me 2 minutes to describe how insane this is, okay? Number one, the husband was caught on camera at a store while this was happening. But of course, social media users are claiming he had a doppelganger that was covering for him out in the public. Insane. But we don't even need...
And by the way, these psychopaths lying about, these sociopaths that are making these lies about the husband, you don't think that's going to spurn other psychopaths to either harass the shit out of him or even try to kill him? How many of these women that believe these outright lies will get their cucked out husbands and say, honey, you need to go hurt this man because he set up his wife. You love me, don't you? You're a cuck bitch boy. You'll do whatever I say, right? Go and harass and hurt this man. You don't think it'll happen? In this day and age? Bet your ass it'll happen.
To debate whether or not she did it. That is not something they're questioning at the trial. Her defense, they know she did it. Yes. Their defense is that she was legally insane because of her condition at the time and that she was basically in a state of psychosis.
Which, by the way, she was never diagnosed. She never received a single diagnosis for any mental health condition. 2 months. 2 months of seeing mental health professionals, being on 12 different SSRIs, she was never diagnosed with a single mental health condition. She was even kicked out of the postpartum clinic, telling them telling her, your symptoms don't meet the criteria for postpartum. And we don't know we don't even know, like, of the 12 SSRIs that she was prescribed, we don't know if she even took any of them. There's zero proof to substantiate that she took the meds. No, we don't have a toxicology report, at least to my knowledge.
She blacked out, did the stuff, woke up later and was like, my God, what have I done? That's their defense. Now, for the TikTok enthusiasts and really anyone out there, pleading insanity in an American court system is insanely hard, no pun intended. Less than 1% of insanity pleas actually work. Okay?
Yeah, she said she heard a voice.
Even if you are successful in that
She said she heard a voice at the time of the murder, but at no point during all of her therapy did she ever tell any of her therapists that she was hearing voices. Not one.
plea. It's not like you get to go home and like nothing happened. You go to a psych ward, probably for the rest of your life. They're basically saying that no, she shouldn't go to prison, but instead should be in psychiatric care for a very long time. And most of the time when someone gets a successful insanity defense granted, they spend more time in the ward than they would have in prison, because at the end of the day, insanity defense or no, the person is not someone who is fit to live in society.
Okay. Question. If she is deemed mentally unfit to live in society, why allow her to exist in society ever again? If she is so insane that she cannot exist within society and she will never be able to exist in society, why are we, the taxpayers, expected to fund her stay in a mental institution for the rest of her life? Why, to that token, if she is not if she is determined that she is not fit for society, which she's not, by the way, why should we also be expected to fund her stay in prison? There is a third option. It's not available in Massachusetts, unfortunately, but there's a third option.
So the fact that people are coming up with these theories about the husband is absolutely deranged. And if you want some somewhat good news, some of these psychos on TikTok who are expressing their support of Lindsay are being investigated by Child Services.
If true,
well, you
good.
know, that shouldn't be too surprising
If true,
when you're posting
good.
stuff like this.
Fucking good.
Literally holding your newborn, as you say it. But let's get to Shoe on Head. Shoe on Head, as a mother, has been very vocal about the situation, exercising that one thing that all these wackadoos really hate, and that is common sense and just a tinge of humanity. So she shared posts like this saying over $700,000 now raised for a woman who strangled her 3 children to the end with exercise ropes. Every single donation is from a woman. Hundreds of thousands of women in a TikTok true crime psychosis where they believe the husband did it because he looks mean.
That, and he's a Gemini. That cannot be overlooked. Where there's multiple people on TikTok making these accusations that a man is a murderer because of his astrological sign.
Here's another post where she responded saying, thousands of women online right now creating true crime fan fiction about the man who had to come home and see all 3 of his little innocent children brutally offed like that because sisterhood or something. Yes. I hope he sues these idiots on TikTok. She literally chased down one of them. Imagine how scared and confused they were. God. It actually makes me so sick. I cried like 3 times researching all this, and I had to take a break. And here's some of the defenses people are proudly sharing. People saying, my 3-year-old daughter took one look at him and said, that's a bad guy. Or how about this? Someone asking if there's a reason why you don't think the evidence and admitting she did it is enough. And they say, LOL, intuition. There's a lot of evidence that is still being uncovered.
No, there's not.
And of course, people are crafting more theories about the husband, where they say in posts like this, we've learned a lot more about Lindsay Clancy's husband.
For fuck's sake. This statement. Here comes the misandry. Now we're like, bear in mind, every single one of these bitches on TikTok that is blaming the husband, they are all complete misandrists. They are. They are the fucking poster children for repeal the 19th. Let's be fucking real here. But this is just pure, unadulterated misandry.
As the trial has played out, yada, 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 and that he failed his wife and kids. Yes, it's the husband's fault that she strangled their 3 children. Yeah, it's the husband. Well, here's the problem, right? You can see a note that is applied to the previous tweet saying Patrick Clancy, the husband, took 12 weeks of paternity leave and began working from home following the end of his leave. He was actively involved in the parenting and his wife's medical treatments.
This man is the poster child for being the best husband that he can be. He took paternity leave to take the burden off of her after she'd given birth to raise their infant. He started working from home to be there for all of them. On the night of the murder, she was the one that went to the store to pick up medication for their child, as well as takeout for food for the entire family. This man, was a good dad. He was a good dad and he was a good husband from everything that we've seen. And these fucking screeching harpies are trying to make him look like this diabolical, psychopathic, murderer. Fuck these bitches. I hope that they get sued and I hope they lose everything.
Where Shu would reply, in quote, saying, we've learned a lot.
No, my emotions are not getting in the way here. No. My emotions are built based upon the facts that have been disclosed. Like, this is new to me about that he took paternity leave, but look at there's 4 fucking sources. This is the act of a husband and father doing everything he can for the betterment of his family and to be involved in the lives of his family and especially his children. We've seen the court testimony about the wife. Everything pointing that she is a fucking psychopath and it was setting up an insanity defense after she killed her children. This is emotions born of logic and facts. I looked at the facts and I looked logically at the situation. First, emotions getting in the way for the insane execution. Oh. Okay, I'm now confused. I'm now confused by what you're referencing then. Emotions getting in the way of basically what her punishment should be? No. No, it's not. This again is facts and logic. It is. If a person, and this goes for any person deemed mentally insane after they have committed a heinous offense. There's another particular case in question where someone committed a very sick and disgusting murder in open public on a particular bus that was deemed mentally incompetent. If someone is insane, they should be executed. If someone is deemed mentally incompetent or mentally insane after they have committed a heinous murder, yes. Yes, I do. Why? Because they're going to spend the rest of their lives in a mental institution, so they're already being removed from society. So why should the public be forced to pay for the care of someone who will always and forever be in a mentalist institution because they are not capable of functioning in polite society? They will never be a benefit to society for the remainder of their lives. Why should we be expected to pay for their care for the next 30, 40, 50 fucking years? They will offer no benefit to people at large. They have only proved themselves to be the worst kind of detriment imaginable. How is that different from someone being executed for being an asymptomatic disease carrier? No, okay, I have to reread this. How is that different from someone being executed for being an asymptomatic disease carrier? Who the fuck is facilitating executions for being an asymptomatic disease carrier? This is not even in the same realm as what we're talking about. I have never once said that someone who is an asymptomatic disease carrier should be executed. Those words have never once crossed my lips. Not fucking once. Okay? That is a false equivalency that I'm sorry is staggeringly stupid. I'm sorry, I have to call it. The parable there? I'm sorry, that is a horrific comparable. They are not even close to the same thing. By definition, if someone is insane, they have no control of their actions. No. No, it's not the same thing. You're talking about a medical disease. You're talking about someone who is a carrier of a medical disease. That is something they have no control over their metabolic disease, of catching a disease. And you're talking about someone whose actions deliberately takes the lives of another. That is such a huge false equivalency. Like someone that is an asymptomatic carrier of a fatal disease, where they have a disease, they have no control over it, and any contact with them could potentially result in harm to another one, but they do not intend harm on anyone. That is not the same thing as someone who claiming insanity again is taking the lives of one or multiple people. That is not the same thing by any stretch of the imagination. That is a complete false equivalency. It is. To think that way is to try and compare the two and say, oh, they're the same. Now you're making excuses. Now this is either I'll say maybe you're trying to do a thought experiment and you're just like doing a comparable. You're trying to just postulate this as a thought experiment. They are not even close to the same thing. If someone's actually insane, they're not in control of their actions. If they are, then they are not insane. They can, okay. Except if the insane person gets treatment before they actually start killing someone, then I'm all for helping that person before they've killed someone. If they've killed someone, game on. All bets are off. If they have taken a life because they're quote unquote insane, which by the way, the number of actual insane people that have committed these heinous crimes is fractionally small. Most people that claim insanity when they've committed a heinous crime like this aren't actually insane. They're trying to claim it so they can go to a cushy hospital instead of prison or be executed. This is not even the same comparable. And yes, we're going to move on. We'll move on.
A lot more about Lindsay Clancy's husband, end quote. You watched some TikToks by Pitbull Mama 78 who told you about Lindsay Clancy's husband using her intuition and tarot cards or some stupid stuff. Shut the F up. And then TMZ, in their infinite wisdom and embarrassing coverage as per usual, saying Patrick Clancy spotted with a new wife amid ex-wife Lindsay's murder trial.
By the way, this is 3 years later. Notice the date. Notice the date. This was 2 days ago. This is 3 years later. This murder of these children occurred 3 years ago. Do you expect him to just never find anyone ever again? And to just be single and grieving for the rest of his fucking life? This is so fucking stupid. I mean, TMZ has zero credibility anyway. TMZ is all about TMZ is grotesquely anti-ICE because, liberal. So, I mean, they have zero credibility as a journalism publication anyway. This just further cements it. They're what's the word I'm looking for? They're fucking trash. TMZ is just straight fucking trash.
New wife amid ex-wife Lindsay's murder trial. And again, a note is applied saying it's been 3 years and 7 months since his ex-wife offed his children. Yeah, because apparently if your now ex-wife offs your children, 3 years later you're not allowed to move on.
Yeah.
In fact, you're the problem. They're more mad at you
Because of course.
than the wife and the demonic acts she did. But Shu adds on saying, the offing happened 3 years ago, by the way, but I guess he's never allowed to try and live a normal life and to be a father again after finding his 3 children brutally offed by his ex. And here's another post by Shu saying, if you are dating a woman, ask her about this viral case being talked about where a woman strangled her 3 kids. If she is on her side or thinks the husband did it, her brain has been fried by TikTok, and you need to break up with her.
True
now.
story.
Showing some of the people
Yep.
saying you'll never make me hate Lindsay Clancy, and also people hypothesizing in their fan fictions that the husband was the one who did this and then framed the wife. And here's someone trying to basically gaslight everyone. Like, you've seen just the tiniest bit of all these viral posts, but you've seen enough. But people are gaslighting, saying it's amazing how much of Shu on Head's discourse is her pretending that TikTok and Twitter is real life and getting mad about it.
Cool. So Serge Ariana, great. Got a question for you. So it wasn't real life when post the Carmelo Anthony trial, you had people on TikTok making TikToks of them going around beating the fuck out of people because they under the auspice of let me rephrase. People on TikTok making TikToks of themselves going around beating white people under the auspice of, oh, you were a juror on the Carmelo Anthony trial when these are just people that had nothing to do with it. You tell me that's not real life, that's not real consequences of the TikTok bullshit that happened after the Carmelo Anthony trial? You're not going to tell me that the husband, TMZ posted, we had a post from TMZ you're going to tell me that the husband is not going to get harassed to hell by hundreds of thousands of people online because people are making these TikToks claiming he's the murderer and here's why I'm a retard? Really? That's not real life? I guarantee you the husband has probably had to change his number, is probably trying to stay out of the public eye, and is still getting dogpiled on these fucking sociopaths daily. How many times has he passed a woman on the street and that woman, because she's glued to fucking TikTok and her brain is leaking out of her ears because of it, has looked over at him and screamed, murderer? Huh? How many do you think? Yeah. TikTok and Twitter is real life because these people on TikTok and Twitter don't know what real life is. The results are fucking real.
And she says this, the hundreds of thousands of women on TikTok liking, posting, defending, donating to the woman who offed her children don't exist in the real world. They just exist in the realm of TikTok, not real life walking amongst us. Fascinating. And here's one final post, and this is it's just sad. Like, this whole situation is so evil, and the reactions are also incredibly evil. She says this, referring to the kids, they were probably so scared and confused. It makes me so sick every single time I think about it, and I have to go hug my son. She really needs to effing fry, and every one of these regarded schmores supporting her, projecting themselves onto her, needs to be neutered.
Yeah.
These people are evil. They are genuinely evil.
Yes, they are.
I'm telling you, evil exists in the world, and when you realize it, it starts to somewhat make more sense, because it's really hard to grasp how people are supporting this stuff. Giving $1 million to this woman, saying, same Lindsay, and also using their kids as props, having psychotic, violent outbursts regarding their own children and posting it publicly. This is genuine evil.
Yes, it is.
At this point, guys, I'm worried the 19th Amendment is going to be repealed from this case. Like, that's how bad things are going right now.
Exactly. These women are the poster children for repealing the movement to repeal the 19th. They are. It's fucking insane. I've said it before. In regards to repealing the 19th, I have firmly believe that you should be forced to take a basic skills test in order to have the right to vote. I no longer, I don't think that any person simply existing in the United States can vote. I think now you need to be proven that you are a sound, logical, intelligent human being in order to be able to vote in the United States. I really do. What is the 19th? 19th Amendment is women's right to vote. That's what the 19th is. The 19th Amendment. But I don't think it should only be for women. I think this is for people in general. Must be a positive taxpayer? No, not good enough. Not even a positive taxpayer. I think you need to be able to pass a basic skills test to prove that you are a logical, intelligent thinking human being in order to vote. That's what I feel. That is my opinion. Don't just let anybody that's in the country have the vote, especially illegal immigrants. You need to be able to prove that you are an intelligent, logical, rational human being. If you can't do that, you don't get to vote. It's as simple as that. Because voting is not about fiefs. It's not about my feelings. Voting is about what is best for the country as a whole. And I would wager between 75 to 80% of the populace of the country does not have a single brain cell to share between them in terms of logic, rationale, and common sense. And that's what the country fucking needs.
An eye-opener for millions of people, and the situation just keeps getting worse, and it's not getting better anytime soon. But at the end of the day, at least light is being shown on evil here, okay? The evil nature of these people is being exposed, and no one's forcing it, right? They're doing this on their own volition. Think about that. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please consider giving the video a like, consider subscribing, and turning on notifications for more daily uploads, as well as multiple streams every week live here on YouTube. But overall, hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah. I knew I was going to get heated on that one. I don't care. I don't care. I wasn't able to express how heated I was yesterday. I'll be goddamn sure I'm going to express it today. It may not have been able to come through when I talked about it yesterday. You can be fucking sure it's coming through today.
Ember burns bright, brighter